What's up, everybody? Well, I got another unboxing and checking out video for you guys today. And today, we're going to have a look at the FLYDIGI Apex 5. And also its base station, which says a bunch of stuff in Chinese that I can't say, but I can see it says 2 Pro. I think it actually says what it is in English as well. Yeah, FLYDIGI Controller Charging Dock 2 Pro is, I guess, what that says. It says it in English, really small on the back. But anyway, I got these. Why? Well, one simple reason. Because this is kind of not a very great controller, at least for as far as battery life is concerned. It doesn't really feel all that well built either. It kind of feels like a Mad Catz controller you'd give your friends when you were younger. Only this one costed like $170 or something like that. And don't get me wrong, I liked the feel of it in hand, like it felt all right in my hands. It was a little big, but not too bad. So I figured since I had great luck with this FLYDIGI Black Myth Wukong Edition controller, I mean, the only problem is I played a bunch of Ninja Gaiden, and yeah, as you can see, it did chip off a little bit of the paint. I thought these were like literally just copper with like black like paint in the middle, but no. And then let's see, it's just all cosmetic. Then there was another little thing where it fell off the table and caught the table and scratched itself right there. And then last but not least, I wore off a little bit of paint there too. But other than cosmetics, the thing is great. Don't really care about that. And instead of just being a carbon copy and having 2 of the same controller again, I figured we might as well try this guy. Let's get you guys focused back on that. So without any further ado, let's go get started with the unboxing. So as usual, before we actually get to unboxing, let's just take a quick look around the box. Some people just like that. There's not much to this one. Nothing at all on that side. On the back, it tells you a little bit of what it's got inside of it. It's got a little thing you can take a picture of and probably go to the website and get like all sorts of information, like all the little information that comes on the little card. You can probably download all that. So yeah, besides that, that's all for that one. And for the little boxy thing, for the little charging dock, it really just tells you a bunch of stuff in Chinese and English, and that's about it. So not really much to this one. Usually there's a little more to go and look over here before we break in there. So now that we've had our look around the boxes, we'll actually get to the unboxing. So now we can actually commence the unboxing. So of course we need an unboxing knife. So I just picked a random one from my collection. I always thought this thing was pretty cool. It's got that Damascus. But anyway, if I remember correctly, I saw 2 little things here. There was one on that side, and I'm pretty sure it's one of those ones that slides out, so we'll do both sides just in case. If not, oh well. It's not like I'm ever putting it back in the box anyway. So let's get this guy to, well actually no, I guess it doesn't slide. It just opens. So if I can get my fingers to catch it, there we go. Some of these things just slide right out, and it's like a little case. So let's get it out of there the easy way. Instead of trying to fiddle around with it for 20 minutes, we'll just let gravity do all the work. So there's what you're greeted with when you unbox it for the first time. We can rule the game. You can literally cruise the vista. I have no idea why that made me think of that, but it did, so I said it. All right, we've got some random stuff here that actually seems upside down. Let's turn that right side up. Maybe. See, this is why I like having fingernails. That would have been so easy. There we go. So it's probably just like maybe the team who made the thing and then like signed by like the CEO or something. I have no idea. I could probably get my phone out and it would tell us. Oh, there you go. Nice. So that's what it is. That's always fun. All right, what do we got next? This is probably the little wireless connector that connects and does all of the magic. Or maybe it's like the little rubber things you add to it. We'll see. What do we got? Okay, so we've got some little weird little things here. I don't know what those are. We got a key. I think this thing is for like tightening and loosening the little controllers because it's like this controller. It came with a little key where you could like put it in that hole and tighten up stuff or loosen it depending on what you want. So I think that's what that's for. You've got a little thing here. What do we got here? Illuminize your personalized light panel. So those are little things you can put in the light panel. Gotcha. Didn't even know it had a light panel. All right, we got some more info booklets. And then we've got a gigantically thick, probably because it's in so many languages, user manual, which is also probably, like I said, with that thing. I forgot what those are called. All right. So just like, I think it's actually an exact carbon copy. You get a nice cable. And it's kind of like color-coded better to fit this one. I mean, I wished it was white with the little blue things because it's like that. But I thought the same thing. I wished that it was just all black and gold with the Wukong controller. But hey, what are you going to do? All right, here's that little dongle that I thought was going to be in that other one. That's what makes all the magic happen. Then you've got your little back bumpers, which I honestly probably won't even use because I'm not going to use it for first-person shooters and all that stuff. I have a keyboard and mouse for that. And I think that's it after that. I don't think there's anything under the foam. Figured I'd check. Nope. After the foam, that is it. So we can get that out of the way, and there's the controller in its little baggie, so let's get it out of its baggie. So much easier to do this when your hand's not in a cast. I remember trying to do that unboxing video of that Xbox Ally with a cast, and that sucked. So you've got your little, oh nice, it's like a little, I thought this was going to be like super clear, but it's kind of like, what do they call it, opaque? So you can kind of like see through it, but it's like hazy. Oh, it does have a screen, I think, like my other one. I thought this was screenless. So you got 2 more buttons under here. There's your little connectors for that dock I got, on and off switch. You got those, but unlike my Wukong thing, you've got those little paddles you can attach there too. I'm pretty sure this is for that little accessories. You can get little accessories for this and the Black Myth, but they work a little different. If we look at the Black Myth, it's kind of got like a thing that like slots down, so they're not going to be interchangeable, guaranteed. Totally different. So there's that. Obviously there's your USB-C. You've got your bumpers. Does the Black Myth have those? No, it doesn't. See, so it actually has some extra buttons that the Black Myth one doesn't have. So that's neat. And then you've got your triggers that are kind of see-through. I like that. See-through, but then have some color behind them. I like that. And let's see. Oh, that must be for those panel things that we got. Where were they? That must be what those are for. Cool. And then you've got your D-pad, which is just plastic on this one versus metal on the Black Myth, but it is what it is. You've got your other stuff. It looks like this stuff's underneath, too. So you have to like take this little cover off. It's probably magnetic or something, I'm willing to bet. Yep. You can just take that off. I'm not going to do it, but yeah. Take that off. What else do we got? Have we gone over pretty much everything? We got our little same grips, just like the Black Myth has. Actually, more grip. Black Myth just has like a little bit of texturing around the bottom there. So, yeah, not bad. Then you've got your 2 little buttons up there. That does actually click. I don't think that does anything on the Black Myth. No, it's just a little painted on thing. So yeah, definitely seems like this one's trying to be above that one. Like this is their top of the line one. I wished that it came in black, but whatever. At least the PS5 Pro is next to it to kind of like make it seem like it makes sense for the build, but hey, I'd rather have like a nice controller rather than worrying about how pretty it looks or if it matches the color coordination of the rest of the build, you know? So now that we've done that, why don't we go get it all hooked up to the computer and maybe have a look at its software and see what it looks like all powered up and all of that nonsense. Hold up, almost forgot about the cool little dock. So let's get that unboxed too. I almost went and got everything all set up for at the other plate. Oh, that's not really what I wanted to do, but I didn't want to cut myself, so hopefully that'll be good enough to get in there. Well, it didn't really do exactly what I wanted, so did it really not cut that? What the hell did they make that tape out of? This is a like razor sharp knife. Probably because I'm still trying to be too careful. Let's see if I get my fingers all the way away from it. There we go. Yep, once you put a little pressure in it. Now will it come out? Yeah. Well, you know what? We're just going to say screw this because it's not working right. There we go. We broke the little latch off, so we're good. Not what I wanted to do, but that's usually what happens with me. I'm terrible at undoing those. All right, nothing else really in the box. It just kind of comes in this little thing. Oh, I guess you undo it like that, huh? All right. Interesting. Yep, and that's white too to match the controller. So if we get that out of there, there we go. And then it's got a little thing. I'll take that off later, but there it is. It just sits down. It's got some little rubber feet, so it shouldn't, yeah, even on that, it doesn't really move that easily. Like, I'm pushing that really fucking hard. If I just set the controller down on it, I don't think it would move at all. Yeah, it's like effortless. So you should be good there. And remember, that's on some mouse pad, which isn't going to hold it as well as like a desk would. You got your USB for it. Oh, that's some stuff I didn't know. So I'm assuming that's where you put the main USB, the one that comes with your controller. That's what I did on my Black Myth anyway. And then it even seems like you get some extras there. You get 2 USB-A's and a USB-C. So I think this dock does more than my other one. I don't think my Black Myth one does all that. I think it just holds the thing and charges. I'd have to double look at it, but that is pretty much that for the little charging pad. So now we can go get all that hooked up and get the software and have it all look and see what it looks like when it's all powered on. Take a quick look at the software. Probably FLYDIGI 3.0, the same as the Black Myth, but we shall see. Maybe it has a specialized version that only works with it, but we'll find out one way or the other. So before I got started with anything else, I figured I'd show you guys just how awful the battery life is on this thing. All I did was set it down while powered on while we did the unboxing. What do you guys think it's at? I'm going to guess like 80 something. Yep, 81. It got down to 81% just sitting there on the table. I was actually going to guess 89 before that popped up, so I still would have been wrong. And it charges really fast, at least, but that's pretty bad, in my opinion. So, now, let's go and get this software installed and all that good stuff. And shush, some shades, man, that looks awful. That's too much bright light coming in. So here's everything all powered on. Unfortunately, it sits a little bit high, so it does get in the way of the TV just a little bit, but like when I'm sitting on the couch or in my computer chair, it's not really going to bother me enough. But I wished it was just a little shorter, but it is what it is. So you got your cool RGB little light there. This lights up. It did indeed have a screen. And then this thing, you can configure it to do all sorts of stuff. I'll go over that when we get to the software stuff, but looks pretty neat just as a default little thing. But now that we've had a quick look at how the controller looks all powered on and whatnot, why don't we go and jump on into software? So, when you download that FLYDIGI Space Station software, 4.1 I believe, this is what you're greeted with. If you have the dock, you have the dock and the controller pop up right there. At first it didn't show the controller and I was like, oh no, but then I realized, oh, dum-dum, you don't have the controller turned on. Of course it's not going to notice it. It'll charge it, but it's not going to notice it. So, once I flipped that on, boom, it popped up, no problems. So, obviously I'm not going to point the camera at the screen while we go through all the software, so let's switch over to a little screen-recorded software, or screen-recorded. And hopefully I remember to turn off the damn HDR, otherwise it will look like absolute shit. NVIDIA sucks at recording HDR. Alright, so, here's the FLYDIGI Space Station thing. At first I didn't have my damn controller turned on, so I didn't see it. Got a little worried for a second, but once I turned it on and put it back in the dock, it saw everything just fine. So, figured we'd go through just the actual apps, little things. There's not much to it, and if you click on this stuff, it pretty much just jumps to in here, so there's not anything else to really look for. But other than that, oh, I can hit back. Sometimes it lets me hit back on my mouse and lets me go back here, and sometimes it doesn't. So let's go with that first, because it's a little less interesting. It's just a dock, but it's pretty cool. I actually like all the little lights and stuff, but obviously if you don't, I doubt you could just shut all this off and just use it as a dock. But then it's kind of a waste of money. I'd just say plug it in with the cord at that point, but the whole point of me of getting these is I just don't like doing that. It's annoying. But yeah, it's got a bunch of options in here. You can change your lights. I'm sure you could upload some of your own stuff too. But now, here's the controller. Everything, unfortunately, here for the onboard settings stock anyways in Chinese, so I have no idea what any of that says, unfortunately. I probably could have got my phone out and done that Google Lens stuff, but I didn't think about that at the time. Oh, and you can customize all of these buttons, by the way. It's pretty nice. So you have plenty of options in here. You can do your RGB, since this one does have RGB, so it probably won't get as good battery life as the other one that does not. But I bet you it'll outdo the Turtle Beach. And if not, it's going right back. Anyway, here's the buttons. Nothing in there right now because I haven't done anything with it. Now you can also do your left and right joystick mapping. You can do your offset and your dead zone right there for the left and right. You can do your gyro there. Not a lot of options for that, but there it is. And then you can do your trigger stuff here. Left and right. So also, you have a tab down here that I almost didn't notice, but here's your adaptive triggers. It kind of tries to mimic a little bit what a PS5 controller does from what I was getting from the reviews before I bought this thing. And it works alright, and you've got a decent amount of games that support it. Not every game supports it, obviously, but a lot more than none. And then there's one more down here. You can mess with your screen, because it does have a little screen on it, just like the Black Myth Wukong one does. And you have a lot of options here stock, and you can, of course, upload your own. I'm sure some restrictions apply, but you can absolutely upload your own up there. I remember seeing it. But yeah, quite a bit. And yeah, like I thought, right there, upload your own. And then here's the settings for this app, or for just the whole thing. So again, you can bounce around with the little settings thing, or you can just scroll. I'm just going to scroll. So you can do controller settings right there, your joystick global settings, accuracy and all that stuff. Sensor sensitivity. And here's the updates. Now you cannot update it by just plugging the controller and putting it on the dock. You have to plug it into a USB for that. Heck, I'll even show you real quick here when I try to update. The only thing you can do is the dongle. You can obviously update the dongle, but you have to update the other two by plugging it in with an actual USB. But yeah, let's see here. If I click update, see, it says connect it with a wired connection first. Same thing for the Nearlink. But you can update the dongle version, obviously. So you just hit download and it's super easy. It just does its own thing. It went to 100%, got done, and boom, we were done. So now let's go move on. Well, all right, guys, that's a wrap for this video. Very nice controller from the looks of it. Excited to actually play around with it. Hopefully everything goes well and it doesn't break or do anything goofy, but hey, there's only gonna be time to tell for that one. And I just noticed something. It looks like my stupid, how'd that happen? There we go. I have these little rubber things that go, so my speaker didn't put out. Somehow it came off. Wonder if Misty played with it or not. Oh, what's that in my pocket? Oh, it's 420. Okay, well I just took an outro hit, but if it's 420, I guess we'll just take another magical hit. All right, so that's pretty much that. As I was saying, I like it. It feels very similar to my Black Myth Wukong. I mean, there's things I like about this one better, there's things I like about that one better. Now, hopefully this one, with all that RGB and stuff, doesn't have horrible battery life compared to the Black Myth. Otherwise, I'm just gonna return this thing and go get like a carbon copy and just get the two Black Myths. Heck, maybe I'll even get the cool Black Myth Wukong charging station if I can find it. That thing looked cool. I didn't even know that existed. Otherwise, so I just got that black one because I wanted to drop it down and charge it. This one, I will say, is slightly superior. It's way easier to just drop it in place. You kind of have to aim the Black Myth Wukong and wait to hear that little da-dung USB noise. Otherwise, you'll come back and go, oh, it didn't charge. I mean, luckily it has such good battery life. I could not charge that thing for probably a week and still play every single day. Hopefully, this one will be the same. Either way, though, that is all for the video. So, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I know it's not super professional like a lot of other YouTubers, but I just do my own thing here. I get a cool new toy. I like to show you guys what it does, how it looks, and then answer any questions if I can. Because a lot of those bigger YouTubers just don't really answer questions. Maybe they can for the first 10 minutes, but then they've got like 1,000 comments and there's no way they can reply to all that. But that's all for the video. I'd give you guys a proper peace out, but I still can't with the messed up hand, so a left-handed peace out, and until the next video.